Samsung Messages app had just received upgrades of advancements with rich communication services, but just 10 weeks later, Samsung decides to shut down Messages, and this is bad news for rich communication services. Samsung will be removing Messages app from its App Store and will eventually stop working. Samsung confirmed it is now shutting down its Messages app starting July, and actually, it is now even pre-installed on the Galaxy S26. Samsung keeps telling its users to upgrade to Google Messages to maintain a consistent messaging experience on Android. But just as Samsung abandons its own rich communication services enabled Messages app in favor of Google's Messages app, along comes Apple with an iPhone upgrade to do exactly the same. For the first time, carrier-based messaging will eventually be end-to-end encrypted. Samsung telling Galaxy users to move to Google Messages is for a consistent messaging experience and sounds so ironic, and that's exactly why the latest rich communication services upgrade is intended to deliver cross-platform. Though this should have been the right time for Samsung Messages to benefit from rich communication services upgrades, not to shut down. Consistent rich communication services messaging features end-to-end encryption, and we expect other advancements like enhanced voice calling or more. So the new rich communication services protocol should provide similar cross-platform benefits for Samsung Messages as of Apple iMessage. But what we have now is very different. Samsung has gone all in with Google, meaning we have two global messaging platforms, Google Messages and iMessage, both connected by an overly complex carrier-based architecture. And it would have been easier for Google and Apple to collaborate on compatibility for clients across their platforms, with just two parties to that development rather than the patchwork quilt of global networks, all of whom need to support rich communication services upgrades. To outside consumer messaging, rich communication services obviously act as an advertising behemoth, though none of that matters for everyday phone users. And it's not behind the features upgrades, including full encryption, that are driving the development of the rich communication services protocol. By the way, rich communication services only make sense as the driver for stock smartphone messaging if it has multiple parties on board. Apple is not going to open up texting on iPhone to third-party applications, meaning iMessage remains the only client and Google is basically doing the same. Meanwhile, messaging applications like WhatsApp and other over-the-tops can move more quickly and efficiently with full control over the platform and its endpoints. Rich Communication Services is controlled by GSMA, which is the mobile standard setter. It even modernizes traditional SMS messaging by introducing features like group chats, file sharing, and read receipts. Rich Communication Services aims to provide users with a more interactive and engaging messaging experience directly through their native messaging applications. And considering Samsung's plan to close its messaging app, it won't make sense since there will only be two native messaging applications. The reality is that Samsung shutting down its messaging application reflects the challenges in operating a rich communication services platform in this duopolistic environment. It means that messaging is being consolidated around two tightly controlled clients, and of course, with an overly complex bridge. The ultimate truth is rich communication services may be expanding its reach, but to some extent it is losing openness and control.